You are now listening to the Wisemen Wrestling Podcast.
I don't know if I like this sleepy version of Rod.
Sorry.
Gonna be completely honest. We're coming into 2021.
That's that Rod that mom called him out to go play when he really didn't want to.
Get dressed. Your cousins are coming over.
No, man. I've seen that look, man. It was maybe about 20 years since I've seen that look. That look when we was all outside his back porch. Rod had this look like, yo, I was asleep. I could play ball in the backyard anytime, but I was asleep. I'm gonna let you know how good that was, man.
Well, here we are, back in 2021.
Back
to the future.
Back to the future, bro. Three groggy brothers for all kind of separate reasons, not totally separate, but hey.
Yeah, separate reasons, but all the same grown man shit that we're on.
That's that 2021.
We're gonna regulate. We're gonna
grown man shit.
For Rod's all intents and purposes, we're gonna regulate taking grown ass men naps and not giving anybody shit about it.
Can we wait? What's that new word? Normalize.
We're gonna normalize, correct?
Normalize grown man naps.
I'm cool with it.
Don't use that word today.
Normalize.
I think we just found the name of the episode. Let's normalize naps. Grown men. You gotta worry about this. So let us introduce ourselves as we usually do.
We do?
Sometimes. It
usually takes us like 45 minutes to do.
We 45 minutes just to get to the point. Well, you know what? This is the Wisemen. You got three of us here. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm not so angry. More hairy, today. Not angry. I'm subdued. This shot really did something to me. We got Rod over there, fresh from a nap.
Yo.
Rocking Wisemen Wrestling Podcast merch.
Mofo's taking Friday naps.
We got Sean, the jokester of the fucking crew. Obviously, the jokes about taking naps. We just said let's normalize the shit, and not even 45 seconds later, he's already joking. Okay,
that's because I got my shot 2 days ago. I just got over my hangover.
I feel like that's been happening to me like lately. Like I made a mention like earlier in the week, like, yo, like people won't call you fat, but they will roast you if you got like a salad in front of you.
Like, what you do that for?
Right, you know what I'm saying? That's way too healthy. What are you doing?
You made me like this.
Like, really?
I see my son eating the salad. I was like, you're better than I am, boy. I've succeeded at this parenting thing.
Who tricked you?
I'm teaching you things that I didn't learn when I was a kid.
You're right. Two years, gents.
2 years to the date.
To the date?
No, I just like saying that.
Well, by the time we're recording this on the 5th, but probably by the time this goes up, it would be the 7th.
Cool.
Yeah, we can post this on the 7th. So technically, we are in the future. We're foreseeing our future.
This is the official 2-year anniversary of the Wisemen Wrestling Podcast. As we take a look back as to why we even started doing this in the first place.
Well, this started as a group text that went out of control.
Right.
We've been talking about this shit since we had those giant ass turkey legs at your spot. Well, this has been in the. I think I was the last on board because you guys have been talking about this for a while, and then all of a sudden, hey,
you know how long we've been talking about this? We've been talking about this since Ronda Rousey was in the UFC.
Yo, we did. We talked about it that November when she got knocked the fuck out, and that's when I went on my very first public date with my wife, my now wife. Yeah. Wow.
Makes you feel old as hell. It's like 5 iPhones ago.
So what you're saying is that we had a single hand in Ronda Rousey joining the WWE because we manifested it. So
like we always do.
Yeah, what we could literally spend a third of this podcast on is going over every accidental prediction we've made.
Because just like Don Moxley, all professional wrestling roads lead through us.
Hold on. You don't get to talk about predictions and accidental shit. I
accidentally
predicted that the New Day would break up.
No, you've been saying this shit.
1.5 for like 22. He's good.
I haven't booked anything yet, man.
You've been booking this shit. You've been putting this out like George Costanza, like, it's not a lie unless you believe it.
Right.
That shit fucking came like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. And then he comes back like he's the innocent guy on Twitter. It's like, oh, yeah, no, you don't get to do that. It's been quite the trip that we've been on, because it's like going back to the conversations in the living rooms and through the group text, and then getting to actually kind of taking a little bit portion of the Joe Budden podcast where we're filming in my room.
Yeah.
Filming in the living room, having a good time. And now we expanded to the video portion due to COVID-19. That's still just is going to be here just as long as we are. But yeah, no, it's been quite the journey with you gentlemen, and it's been helpful in many ways outside of just being informed by your expansive knowledge of wrestling.
And probably saved at least one of our marriages at some point.
Well, yeah. I have to attest to that.
Well, there's something for everyone on this podcast.
Oh, you're working on the thing. You're working. Okay.
Oh, it's like, yeah. And then, of course, we always go back to the Escalera! Yeah. So, here we are.
Yep.
2 years later, 27 different sound effects on this roadcast. when I was struggling to learn GarageBand, but then I learned it so well that I started making remakes of instrumentals, and then I forgot. It's like, oh yeah, we got a roadcast now. I don't have to do all this shit.
Right.
What Ray doesn't tell you is that even when we're not recording, he plays those sound effects through his house.
Oh yeah. What's here? So on my bookmarks for mobile, it's CNN. It's not Chase, because we obviously got apps, right? So we got CNN, ESPN, and the Bodega Boys soundboard.
Which they don't even use.
So just in case I get spicy, I just go, yeah, here you go.
And what have we done? First, the earliest memory I have is our disdain for Tori Wilson going into the Hall of Fame. That was a fun segment.
She didn't deserve all the hatred we gave her, but we did.
It almost came back during the Royal Rumble, man. I'm done.
It's like, this bitch again.
I was like, man, is that me and him spot?
Right.
The only thing I kept thinking was like, because I know I text, because obviously I don't pay for this shit. So it's like, All right. Well, no spoilers because I'm probably like 30 seconds, 45 seconds behind you guys, depending on what's going on. So I was like, I'm sitting here thinking in my head, it's another fucking legend after that heated promo that Mustafa, as they're pronouncing now, Ali put out about, I was like, oh, this is just Ali's just in the back in the green room, just stewing right now, just angry, flowing his hair.
That could have been me.
You took my spot, Tori Wilson.
I could have been the first man in a women's World Rumble.
Does that mean we're gonna get Tori Mania?
Oh God!
No, stop.
Please no.
Let's not forget the several advertisements that we tried getting with pizza bagel bites.
Yeah.
Didn't we ban them for a while because they didn't want to do it?
No, Gerard got banned because he was talking spicy about the way I like my fucking steak.
I think we all got banned for that one.
Yeah. Shout out to Omaha Steaks.
Fuck you. Fuck him.
I think you banned Emily too. I don't know. I think everybody wrote it.
Notice how you haven't had a fucking bagel bite since?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like the missus buys them because I put the word out. Trader Joe's, you ain't getting no organic bagel bites. That's enough for you. But no, man, we had some fun with it, especially any member of the ginger ale family that wants to give us something. My favorite drink.
Ginger ale. Yeah.
It's weird because it's like, like what was the rotation? It's like the wife would start cooking stuff. We'd sit here and eat and just continue to record. And I think I'm doing that right now. I'm eating and talking to you guys. So like, oh, memories.
I just killed like the last of like JB's like graham cracker snack that he left on my desk.
Damn, did it have peanut butter and jelly on it?
No, just man, that would have been great, but no.
I mean, real talk, we're actually sponsored probably by some air fryer brand.
Oh shit. That went down the wrong hole. That's what she said. Sorry.
Well then. And I think we'd be remiss to not mention the fact that anytime Booker T is mentioned on this podcast, damn near starts a fire.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
How pissed off were you that Bad Bunny was just circling around him? It's like, oh, so it's Bad Bunny.
I was about to give ourselves the Barry Horowitz pat on the back for never letting Booker T off.
Hold on, man. But real talk, but the Bad Bunny thing. How salty you gotta be as Booker T to know you were that close to the ring in your gear, and Michael Cole's just roasting you like, is that G.I. Joe, G.I. Bro? While he's laughing, not with you, dog.
Yo, Michael Cole was mad wild for that shit. Yeah, bro. What the fuck?
Michael Cole was in a special place.
He's like, is he in gear? Is he in full gear?
It almost felt like a swan song. Like
now he's out there like, oh, you even go to Saudi Arabia? It's sad.
It's wild. Like you were there, you were in your gear. You got to cut a promo.
We're like 20 feet from the ring.
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny had more action than Booker T in the last decade. And he's prepping for WrestleMania.
A match at WrestleMania.
He's prepping for WrestleMania. Yo, that's the song I'm fucking leading in with. When I put this on GarageBand, I'm leading in with the Booker T song.
Oh God!
I told Booker, what was that? It was about a year and a half ago. I ran on that rant. And they don't even want you near the ring with your shit on.
No.
That's close enough. Don't even walk down the ramp. What do you mean? Don't even walk down the ramp. But I got my gear on. I can just go right there. I'll be number one in a rumble.
Got a Vince McMahon imposed restraining order. Can't be 25 feet from within the ring.
Man.
That's crazy.
Got him in the bleachers during the fucking talking smack.
Last time Booker T was in a WWF ring, Dominic was being fought over in a custody match. Now he's in the ring wrestling, beating Baron Coleman.
How times have changed. You know what a badass Dominic Mysterio came out in the same shit that Booker T came out on Royal Rumble. Came out with Bad Bunny.
G.I.E.
First of all,
G.I. Mijo.
First of all, it would be G.I. Bro. But yeah, Bad Bunny saying that it was his dream to be a wrestler. I was like, slow down, Papa. You know that's a lie. That's a nice check that Vince gave you.
Bruh.
I think he's a legit fan.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, you start to see it.
He got snatched up at a San Antonio game. Was that?
Yeah.
Because he went out and like did the AAA spit the water thing. And they were like, "Come on, dude!" Like,
no, yo, and real talk on WWEshop.com, he's the #1 t-shirt seller right now.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
That shirt was fucking.
Yeah, legit. Like they came out this morning. He sold more in 24 hours than just about any wrestler in history.
Booker T included.
Booker T doesn't even have a shot. He doesn't have a t-shirt.
As part of Booker T's bad contract that he had to appear in that video and not say a fucking word except for "Can you dig it?"
God, that was awful.
And then even the royalties for the catchphrase went to Vince's pocket. You want to talk about bad deals?
You know, at least Ric Flair got to do commercials and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair got a pair of Adidas too.
Like real talk, I didn't even know Bad Bunny had a Booker T song until they said
I told you
play it. Well, you told me when they were gonna play it. I'm like,
no. I told you when the album came out, when the Bad Bunny album. I was like, he's got a song named Booker T, and then all of a sudden, I think Gerard put the eyes rolled.
Like, yeah, I put it on my Instagram. I was like, we're not touching. I have no explanation for this. I know what our job is, but no.
I mean, I cycled over the song. I'm not gonna lie. I just fuck this. It's Booker T. No, thank you.
Remember how this started when we were using this? I think we used like at least the first 20 episodes just to talk shit about Raw as we watched it.
Yeah, we came in cynical.
That's being nice.
We were riding the wave.
Who knew that we
now we don't even watch Raw.
Like we watched it for. I think I just watched it just because it's kind of like after the main pay-per-view that Rumble was, and I was like, all right, cool. It wasn't terrible.
I watch it on Twitter.
That's see now you taking my attitude now. Watching it stuff. So I don't feel too bad. So it is what it is.
We did get to some important stuff. I remember us talking about t-shirt controversy. That was a big one for us. We actually did like a triple show that day.
Yeah, that was with the ACH deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely transitioned from like fun and games to, real stuff.
I'm going to highlight also the conversation that me and Ray had about Black champions and the lack thereof going into Kofi Kingston's win at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about that was great? Oh no, we had our moments here and there.
Yeah, I mean, there was that epic Marvel rant. I don't even know how we got there. I think it was that special 50th episode where we said we weren't going to talk about wrestling for an episode.
Right.
Oh, we
ended up talking about the MCU for like 45 minutes or something.
We went everywhere that conversation. We went everywhere.
Yeah. Wasn't that about the time they announced Spider-Man coming out or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a Spider-Man Far From Home, like the previews were out.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, no Excalibur.
And talk about 2 years.
Now we got WandaVision.
Man, now we talking about flipping over the whole table of the Marvel Universe.
Did you watch the new episode?
Yes, I did.
Did you, Rod?
I didn't watch the 5 yet, no.
Okay, we won't say anything.
No, we're not gonna say.
There'll be spoilers for everyone else later.
I do. I when it comes to Marvel, I do appreciate the fact that they put that shit out at midnight on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I can literally watch it before I go to work, which is very convenient for me.
Well, shouts out to my boy Dave. Dave, you know what you do, because I'm not paying them either. So I appreciate you, Dave.
Dave, you are the man.
Because what do? They give you WandaVision, and they put up another musical.
Which one?
Granted, it's the Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston.
I'm good.
So I mean, yeah, you know, good for them, but you did it again, Disney.
I will give them credit for, at least in this, what is it, a year and a half now that Disney Plus has been active, that I wouldn't say they're like HBO as in comes to original content, but there's been very few droughts where there's been none. You know, because they did 2 seasons of Mandalorian. They threw out Hamilton and Mulan. Now we got WandaVision. There's Soul. I mean, it's not like HBO where there's like 5 different programs you can watch at the same time, but everybody's adapting to this that we got going.
I'm not taking them off the hook, no, because they were talking like they were the Netflix killer.
No, that I knew wasn't going to happen. Only from the library standpoint. I think
I have my bones to pick with the Mandalorian as well.
Okay.
So
that I can give. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Intergalactic Sesame Street.
Whoa.
It's just really the way, Disney?
Should have known better.
So you got the smoke for Disney?
Should have known.
I do. I really do.
I mean, it's real easy to have a bone pick with Disney, man. They take everything. They literally have our childhood, with the exception of like Sesame. Like my biggest beef when it comes to like streaming services, and this is like real little and pretty petty, but ever since it happened, I've just like had this black hole in my heart, and that's when Sesame Street sold out to HBO.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just something like I just feel to be wrong on so many fucking levels.
They just got tired of PBS begging for money and us being like, yeah, whatever.
You can't keep giving us the same fucking handbags, motherfuckers.
You know what I'm saying? They wanted the bag. And they deserve the bag.
I mean, they deserve the bag. Definitely.
With the money they got, they were able to put that to good use, I'm sure.
If you haven't seen like the latest HBO episodes of Sesame Street, they're actually pretty dope.
I did see the first couple, which were pretty. It's like I'm digging it.
That's the problem. Like it's not public access anymore.
Right. So like no one
rated R shit.
No, I just
Oscar the Grouch comes out and you see something a little bit more than you bargained for in that trash can.
BC guest stars on Sesame Street.
Well, I know they did like they had an HIV character that was in like South of Africa. I think they brought over.
Right. They had HIV. They had a homeless character, an autistic character. Yes.
I did see somebody give Sesame Street about the homeless person. I was like, you fucking had Oscar the Grouch and living in a trash can.
Well, I mean, and again, when they went with the LGBTQ character, right? You had Bert and Ernie right there.
And I think they commented on that too.
I'm sorry. I just felt like that was an opportunity there. They just could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, you would have to explain something to your kids, but hey, still would have been relevant. You know, at least more relevant than passing off. Oh, now new people are coming in. These people were never on Sesame Street before. You know, but hey. I applaud the effort. I just wish more eyes were on it. Sesame Street's one of those things that should never be on paid TV, more or less premium paid TV. That's
It would be pretty dope if HBO made that specifically free. For households with children and stuff like that.
Or if they had like a free
free version
of their spot, yeah,
that would
be nice
to be able to give that back out to the community. All right, let's be real. A lot of us were raised with Maria, and half of the other people.
The show.
That's the only one I can remember.
And speaking of,
Think about
Rod, have you cashed your check for predicting that the WWE would sell the network 2 years ago? Have you cashed that check yet?
I told you. That's like half of the plan right there. And like that was like one or two things that people on Twitter try to clown me for. It's like that was the purpose of this network. Like this network was never going to make it on its own. It was been great for wrestling fans, but the WWE doesn't care about wrestling.
They care about that bottom line.
Right. So, I mean, it was surprising. It was surprising with Peacock, of all places, to get NBC to pay another $1 billion into this company that they don't have any control over in terms of content, in terms of ratings. So, so this is, I mean, it's a good move, I think, all the way around. We know that they also want to get back into the traditional pay-per-view business. This would probably be one of the ways to kind of propel them, because I think what it is like now, it's like there's no archive for pay-per-views. It's just the one and done. If I read that right.
What do you mean?
On the network, on the new Peacock network, like.
No, you can see it the day after.
You can see it the day after?
The thing is, you can't, on the day of, you won't be able to pause or rewind. So you'll only be able to see it live as it happens.
Okay.
There is a replay that will post the day after.
So it's kind of like the Hulu brand. If you pay for it, you get to watch it live. If not, then you get to watch it the day after.
Correct.
Nice.
So
yeah.
Now this puts them on a bigger platform with more eyes. So now NBC can manage the true engagement of WrestleMania. Okay, so listen up, because this is the second part that I keep on getting clowned about. Vince McMahon wants WrestleMania to be the next Super Bowl in terms of ad revenue.
Mm-hmm.
He really wants that to be on Channel 5 for 7 hours. I don't know if that's what's going to end up happening, but that is the goal. You know, Vince is a big football guy, and he thinks the world of his product. Doesn't see why anybody would enjoy anything else.
Especially after getting shitted on with the XFL again.
Yeah. He really thinks that WrestleMania is just as big as the Super Bowl. And the fact that outside of those one and dones that network television does, like the biggest ad revenue does go through professional wrestling, you can see where the ego is. It's almost justified. And now his network gave him another $1 billion for his content. We'll have a definite answer on that within 5 years.
Vince, I won't say Vince entirely, but one of the things we've learned in the last 365 days, regardless of how we feel about what is shown on the tube or on the screen, there are some very smart people behind the scenes at WWE from a business standpoint. Through a pandemic, they had their most profitable year ever. There's not many companies that aren't in the pharmaceutical, retail, or delivery business that can say that right now.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't had to spend any money on traveling to almost anywhere in 365. Well, not quite 365 days. We'll say the last 11 months. They've cut, 40% of their salary?
Yeah.
They've not had one interrupted show. throughout COVID. Unlike any other live entity. You know, like every sport has had a postponed or canceled show. Even I think even AEW had a couple shows they had to move around.
Yeah, I think they literally had one NXT show that they had to move.
You know,
although that streak might be coming to an end very soon as well.
Yeah, but the train has just kept on moving, regardless of ratings, which from our standpoint haven't been what they were. Obviously they're not making any money on tickets. It's been all TV revenue for the most part. And somehow they've made more of it. I mean, they had already done a $1 billion deal with, was it Fox?
Yeah.
Fox was the $1 billion deal. Then they re-signed with USA. Then they got the extra money for NXT. And then they gave Peacock the network, which really doesn't take much work, considering all the content that they have for the network mostly comes from their already live programs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the only other things that they're doing is like, you know, the documentaries that they have and, you know, taping the the Broken Skull sessions, which is essentially a podcast that Stone Cold was going to do anyway. Now he's videotaping it. So from a production money standpoint, they found ways to make money that we didn't even consider. And now they've cashed in a way where they're good from a money standpoint for at least the next 5 years, if they never go out to another stadium. Because it's all TV ad revenue. So they might not be able to book a story for shit. They're going to make a buck.
Yeah.
Let's get off of this.
It's just like, just like what Jay said, man. I don't have 1 billion streams. I got $1 billion.
Right. let's move on to the other successes that are going on besides them. Let's give a shout out to New Japan, who will have their own Roku channel. That was just announced today, less than a week away till they debut. International television premieres free every week, Thursday at 5 p.m. So shout out to New Japan for that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw, what else? Independent Wrestling TV is now going to be on Pluto TV. They got a deal. So now when we get back to seeing, that would be cool to see like freelance on Pluto when things sort of kind of return to normal.
Yeah.
Some of our hometown favorite brands. So, that's all good. But let's talk about that Forbidden Door.
Oh, just real quick, right before we go there, while we're on hometown brands, congratulations to Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black, who go by new names I'm not acknowledging as of right now, but for scoring those NXT contracts. Congratulations to those ladies, regardless of what the strategy is there.
I'm not gonna front. That took me by quite surprise.
Yeah.
Especially because Elena Black had been on a couple episodes of AEW Dark. We know about the connection Priscilla Kelly has with AEW. She's been on a couple episodes as well, I think. But scores for them, for getting on NXT and being put in a prominent spot right away in the women's, Dusty Rhodes Classic. So
right.
Kudos to them.
Those two people that we're familiar with thanks to freelance wrestling. So just want to say congratulations to them. I think the lane is open for Laney Luck next. So we're rooting for you.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, more or less I saw what happened, but
and it's not going to affect her, but it's,
right.
that's a whole nother ball game. But speaking of a check that, needs to be cashed, what did we say at the beginning of 2019? You got to make friends.
Got to make friends.
And we never left the house after that.
No, that's 2019. We were fine. But it took a year and a half, but there's a whole bunch of friend making. And we also said that the only way to really compete against WWE is if all the other organizations started working together.
Yeah. So Voltron is starting to form.
Straight up. Now, I think it definitely, I don't want anybody to, start getting their napkins and their lotion yet, because it's going to take a while before like this really bursts open because of the, COVID, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because New Japan's already announced that, like, okay, we're slow playing this, chill. Like, don't think that Koda's walking through that door yet. Like, let's chill, But it's good to see that, at least that part of the door swings open. And it really creates the possibility of what could happen on any of those shows.
It literally is Voltron, because like the Red Lion was like the holdout.
Yeah,
he was the one that was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm no loner.
Well, the loner is still actually the loner is pretty much ROH now.
Well, they're just being, I don't know.
Didn't we put a to be killed timeline on them?
Well, I from what I hear on the East Coast, there's still a thing.
That's cool that you hear it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Cool. It's cool that this is a rumor,
right?
Oh, hearsay, Sean.
They're still signing people and throwing on shows. They're not put on anything that we can see over here.
Yeah, that's a shame. Oh well.
That was the second before last show that we did.
Yeah,
the 2020 PR is a job.
Yep. The fact that you heard it from the East Coast is like, all right.
There is a large untapped market here, and you can't just say, oh well, just go to Fight TV. It's there. No, what are we going there for? Because your competition is giving us way more in terms of reasons to go. Yeah,
easier.
NWA has gone
above and beyond. Exactly.
That's done. That's done.
Well, it's going to be over. Let's be real, right?
I don't think they'll ever official end it because of the intellectual property that it represents. But they will never say that it's over.
At least they're champion.
Right.
I mean, we know what's going on.
Prominent, yeah. So it's like, of course, they're taking care of each other when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least we know NWA is still relevant. More so than I had no idea Ring of Honor still existed right now until you just said it.
Oh yeah, they had tournaments and everything. They had a pay-per-view.
Oh, that's cool.
They still had Final Battle right before the end of the year.
Did you watch it?
I watched parts, not live. Twitter's a thing.
Twitter's a beautiful thing.
They got half of their talents unsigned, which is interesting, but hey. Again, that's a mystery that we'll never solve because they got money. That's the silly thing. They got money and they're owned by a network. Yet you can't see them anywhere, which is weird.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like you said.
But with the door
job,
yeah.
You are what you put out in this universe, whether it's personally or whether it's his business. And if you are left at the end of this all wondering why your business failed, it's like, do you have that question to answer to yourself? It's like, did we do everything that we possibly could? And we all know what the fucking answer is.
And that's the layer I feel like even we don't really truly understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can just pay people. You know what I mean? And that'd be the end all. We can say all we want to about their creative and their reach, but if that's not even like really part of their business plan and they can just still pay people, like it's just a shame that if there's anybody signed to those contracts that want to participate in what's happening and they can't. You know what I mean? That's where it's a shame. For them and for the fans, you know?
Absolutely.
Because right now, everything that's happening outside of the WWE is dream match territory. You know what I mean?
They gotta. It's so buzzworthy right now.
You're right.
Because of just of the potential of what's going on, not just because of what just happened this past Wednesday, but it's like that conversation that we had in WWE when it came to dream matches when we were talking AJ and Shinsuke way back when. I mean,
Right.
the fact that you can just play with whatever you have 3 different rosters to play with when Impact has undoubtedly one of the top women's divisions in all of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now AEW can kind of borrow from that, and they can go back and forth with AEW's champion just showing up on their Tuesday nights. It's a win-win for all three companies.
I really wish he would.
It would help.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it would help that you don't put it. We'll touch that. That's a whole nother podcast, or previous podcast where we've talked about the direction of the division. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is like around the stuff that we talked about before.
Well, we didn't have a New Year's resolution, so maybe we should make one for AEW this year.
What else?
I'm not saying shit to AEW.
Well, like I said, right now it's nitpicking, but those conversations are still happening across Twitter about how this is still an issue, and you're running on what, year 3?
What issue?
The women's division.
Here's the thing. Are they making money?
Yeah, right. Once again.
Huh?
Yeah, right. Once again.
Are people watching the show?
I will say that I've watched more of the Go Big.
I'm not saying us. I'm not saying us. I'm just saying in general. They don't have a reason to switch that up right now.
Yeah, I mean, from a typical business standpoint, you're absolutely right. The only reason why we give them so much heat for is because it's
what they said.
It's the check that they wrote.
Yeah, absolutely. And then especially right now, with accountability being probably at its highest level now, people more. Well, let's be real. I mean, a lot of things are being kind of some more than others, we should say.
I believe there's zero accountability in wrestling.
No. I meant in the world, not
necessarily
in society.
Okay.
Like people are throwing people into the fire for shit that they said. I mean, like I said, those conversations are still happening, especially if I'm not mistaken, after one of the most recent episodes of Dynamite. It's like, all right. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with it. Right now, like, how is this even a conversation with everything that's been going on?
I mean, we just haven't seen. I feel like I'm gonna shoot them a little bit bail here. I just feel like we haven't seen anything big. I'm still holding out that they are planning something because they are doing things. It just hasn't really come to fruition yet. There is a large international tournament going on right now for the number 1 contender for the AEW Women's Championship. So that's nothing to snooze at. And there's in that tournament, I think we're going to get exposed to a lot more women that we don't know anything about.
Yo, one of them, what was that? Maki? She came out with the heat on Twitter right away. Like, yo, hello, motherfuckers. I'm like, whoa, wait, what?
Have they started that? Have they started that tournament yet?
They just announced it.
They just announced it. Okay. So we know all the participants. You can go look and see.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll do that part. But how much of it you think is going to end up on AEW Dark, as opposed to Dynamite?
That's the big question there. So, like I said, they're doing things. We just have to see exactly what they're going to do.
We'll see what their plan is with this, because this is going to be. I mean, let's. This is going to be kind of like that last salvo when it comes. You're firing that last salvo. It's like, all right, let's see what you guys got. Maybe you think you got enough in this tournament to go ahead and turn some eyes. I mean, we already know, Serena Deeb, and we know Thunder Rosa. Those are known quantities with us, right? So let's see what the rest of. Let's see this Jade Cargill without the, this Shaq bullshit that we're going to be exposed to.
Brother, you are. If you're looking at Jade Cargill to be something real.
No. I'm not looking at her to be the next Bianca Belair, Charlotte
okay.
Flair, whatever the case may be. Don't sing. We sang Jade's praises on this podcast when she was signed.
Yeah,
signed
but she's a character and she has charisma.
Yeah, let's see how much it translates. Which is, I'm glad that they haven't thrown her in the ring yet, outside of just like you said, the character work.
Right.
They're building up to it. Let's see what happens. But it's like tournaments usually have 16 people in it. I can only name about 4.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This tournament has a lot of people that we don't know about yet.
So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Because
you know how I feel about tournaments in terms of if they're done right, how they can be star makers. So, like I said, I kind of trust them. So,
yeah.
But like I said, to your point, how much of it is it going to be on dark? How much of it is going to be,
How much of it is going to be on dark? And my predictable thing is, where's Britt Baker going to end up in all of this? Continuing her 2.5-year push to get this belt. Where does Nyla Rose fit in all of this as well? So I mean, it'll be interesting. We'll circle back once they announce it, and we'll do. That'll be one of the things that I want to focus on. Because like you said, we hold them. They wrote the check. Time to see, fucking cash it. Yeah. All these checks do have a fucking post date. Can't get that shit for free. Can't take that shit to the Curse Exchange 5 years later. Funds might not be there.
This is true. Anything else stand out this week or since the last time we record?
I know you wanted to talk in depth about a couple of things. And when we talk about For the Culture too, it's not just, what we see on TV with the Charlottes, the Beckys and stuff like that. We proudly on this podcast represent Black and brown people all over. I was acting like a fucking school kid when I saw Damian Priest. Fucking Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, and that flag means a lot to me. Because I know where, the roots behind it. I was excited when Santana or Ortiz popped out on their first appearance and waved that flag. That means everything. This guy's got it on his gear. He's not doing that fake the crow shit anymore. He's actually got the flag, and it's like, yo, it's cool seeing somebody. And then you see the stories that are coming out that this guy's got all the boxes that Vince likes. I'm like, okay, all right.
You got the John Cena treatment.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's see what's up.
He got introduced by a celeb. He had multiple backstage segments. He had kind of some passing the rub moment. Yeah, he got the rub.
Yo, and that fucking gear. I almost want to go get some fucking leather pants with a Puerto Rican flag on it.
Please don't. We're not over your jeggings, man.
Yo, real talk. They're keggings. Oh, I don't even say keggings because it sounds like a fucking vaginal exercise.
Oh, we're good.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like I said. It's like it's cool. It's like I'm everything for Black and brown people, and I just like seeing shit like that because it's fucking cool. It's like what you want to see as a kid. You want to see some. Oh shit, there's somebody that looks like me. Getting busy. I mean, yeah, granted it was with Bad Bunny, but still, damn it, this conversation, everything Bad Bunny.
It works, man. It's the Bad Bunny thing worked.
Yeah, yo, but look at Bad Bunny. At WWE took the fucking McDonald's model. So they got Bad Bunny. They gave us the Bad Bunny meal. Now, who's the next super mega star that they want to bring aboard to go ahead and all of a sudden they're going to profess that they're a huge wrestling fan.
We got to make sure we put Bad Bunny in the hashtags.
Oh, for sure. Bad Bunny. I'll probably pick a different Bad Bunny song. I don't want to give Booker T any more moments.
But I will say, this is my blanket statement for moments like this, from past, present, and future. I don't expect WWE to do the right thing, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when they do.
But here's the thing, and this is the point that I think is funny about this whole situation. If 1 year ago we would say there's a potential for, we're not even going to get on gender, 2 African Americans to headline WrestleMania, headline a major pay-per-view, and a major Hispanic presence on TV, we probably wouldn't have said it would be WWE.
Hell no. It would have never been my first or my second choice.
Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the belts in WWE on their major programming is held by African Americans right now.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them credit for that?
I didn't say that.
You
hear me giving them credit? I said it's funny. I said
we
we wouldn't have said it.
I'm thinking it was like this. Well, how much of it is due because their stars are at home?
No.
I mean, it's February. This is the February rollout.
Right. Oh, don't do that.
We get this. No, this is exactly where I'm going. This is exactly where we're going.
Yeah.
This is the February rollout.
When did Kofi Kingston get his run?
Let's
in February.
Time out. Let's just start with the good part.
Yeah.
And then work our way to the bullshit. All right. We potentially, whether they realize it or not, like I said, there's some smart people back there, but then there's there's this circumstance. Because we knew that Bianca Belair checks all the boxes. We knew that Vince is big on her. And for the most part, they've done right by her on the main roster since she's kind of come up. For the most part. And she's the Royal Rumble winner. That was the right pick. I picked Rhea Ripley because I don't expect the WWE to do the right thing, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when they do. So, with Bianca Belair being a Royal Rumble winner, and the match that we've been talking about, and I think not just us, but everybody's been talking about for the longest, is getting her and Sasha Banks in the ring together. We potentially may have a WrestleMania that may be headlined by 2 African American women. And until they ruin this moment in 2 days, potentially, like, we can celebrate that.
Right, because in actuality, as much as it is a possibility until it's not a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, well, I'm going to assume like you, I don't believe it's going to happen.
Let's not go there yet. That's what I'm saying. Let's stay good first.
Yeah, let's stay good first. Let's
stay happy first.
I'm happy that it's happening.
Right.
Reasoning behind it, and we can go on for that.
We got to make sure that we get the flowers first. We can't be like 100% cynical.
Right.
As much as we want to be. But like, yeah. I mean, for me, that was almost kind of up there with Kofi winning the championship.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was considerably emotional for me to just really think about that.
Big E commented on Twitter that the entire locker room lost their mind because they were happy for this moment, genuine. And you saw Bianca Belair's heartfelt, and that was straight. That was not kayfabe. Yeah, that was her reaction to it. I mean, if you didn't feel anything while you were listening to that, watching the wrong thing.
She cut an excellent promo after the match in the ring.
Yeah.
Very good moments that were captured backstage in the gorilla position with her and Montez. She was on the bump. They had to give her a minute because, the emotions were still flowing. Like, it was just great. You know what I'm saying?
You want to hear my dream scenario?
Yeah.
Bianca Belair challenges for all 3 titles. Wins all 3 titles, and now is #3ST.
How many Flair won't let that happen?
Well, we know that. I said it's a dream.
I just want to mention on the side that we still owe Becky more flowers because she made this 2-belt thing a thing.
Becky 2 belts, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody had 2 belts this year because of the pandemic. Asuka had to double. She had to do it a couple times. Oh, as Bianca Belair just started whipping Carmella's concierge with her ponytail right now.
Right, do Bianca shit. Like
that's what I want to see.
Do Bianca shit right now.
Carmella's breaking character. She's laughing. This is her moment.
Yeah, and
her moment.
To think that if we play by the Royal Rumble rules, and we know we haven't played by these rules, but if we just imagine for a moment that we're playing by the Royal Rumble rules, that means that she's headlining WrestleMania.
Oh, you're joking.
And it almost could possibly be because WrestleMania is 2 nights. Like,
is it going to be 2 nights again?
Yeah, it is. They're doing 2 nights again, so that means there's a greater possibility that these women are going to be able to close out one of the shows.
They'll get Saturday night show.
They have given this opportunity to Sasha Banks before. She has closed out shows, and she has not let us down. Sasha Banks has not let us down ever since she came back.
This is her longest title reign, right?
Ever since the blue hair. Well, she's got an interesting stat. She's the only woman right now who has had more than 100 collective days with each women's title.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
So this is what I believe about the Bianca Belair situation.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Sasha pushed for Bianca to be in this position.
Okay.
I know for a fact Mark Henry pushed for Bianca Belair to be in this position because he's openly said so. So we know Mark Henry's got some pull backstage.
Right.
He doesn't swing it a lot, but he's got some pull backstage. And we know that Sasha has gained some pull since she's returned.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe, until proven otherwise, this is a shot called by Sasha to put Bianca on. Because Sasha understands the big game of wrestling. She always has. That's one of the reasons why she took breaks, because she felt like she wasn't given her proper respect. And a couple times took her ball and go home until she felt like she was going to get that respect. Period. I do think, at least from, and again, this is perception. Obviously, it may not be reality, but that's fine. There are a lot more people of color, of influence in the WWE than a year ago.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio had just came back a year ago.
MVP?
The MVP had just came back. You know, we had a bunch of younger, should we say, African American stars, and we didn't even have that many Hispanic stars at all, besides Lucha Party, before a year ago. The New Day, with Kofi's reign, should I say, gained a lot more pull to speak on their minds and used it multiple times. Risking whatever they're risking to do so, because they put themselves in a big money position and in a position to open their mouths.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need more of. I'm not even going to just say in wrestling. I'm saying period. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it in sports with, situations like agree or disagree with the methods, James Harden, Deshaun Watson, even LeBron, who are using their influence to make moves for themselves and others. It would be good to see this kind of influence flow to other parts of the industry, because we have yet to see it, in my opinion. And that's calling out AEW, Impact, everybody.
We see it on the indies. We see it with GCW.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that there's some big things coming out of there as well. And those guys have been used on TV too, so it's like you can't, like, you've been touched by it, so now you have to act upon it.
There's a lot more color backstage in WWE than there has been before.
Yeah.
You got Devon back there now. You got people like Titus back there now, who haven't been in front of the camera, but have been making moves behind the camera. We know what Mark Henry's been doing.
Prayers to Devon, by the way.
Yeah, he had a stroke recently. So
yeah, openly admits with a smile on his face that, I got health problems. I got issues. And yeah, prayers to him.
Sure. I just hope we're at least approaching a future. Again, not just in WWE, but in general in wrestling, where brown and black people don't have to play certain roles to get in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm most proud of. What I'm seeing in general right now.
Well said.
We don't have to see, the people that are coming on don't have to play gangsters. They don't have to be ghetto. They don't have to accentuate stereotypes. In fact, they, for the most part, subvert them across the board.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to celebrate about all the way across. Like, I mean, I can't pick a gimmick right now in any of the major wrestling brands where, you have someone of brown or black, playing some kind of stereotype that wouldn't be a negative impact right now.
No, you'd be hard pressed to find it. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I think everybody's been,
except whatever fucking Dio Manning's doing right now.
yeah, they need to end that retribution shit. I can't respect the name, a guy named Flapjack or whatever his name is.
No, Flapjack is Dominic.
No, it's Slapjack, not Flapjack. Flapjack
is
Flapjack
Shane
is the
Thorne?
fucking pancake, Sean.
Yeah.
It's a pancake.
I don't know any of these guys.
That's the thing. Just end it already, man. I was like, if anything, just have Ali go in a battle. Who's got the best hair between him and AJ Styles right now? It's fantastic. I gotta find out. He's a local guy. We can find out what he's using.
Mm-hmm. He goes to Sally's.
He goes to Sally's. Right there on Devon.
Wow.
What?
No, there's this monster Sally's out in Melrose Park.
Yeah.
That thing is insane. I went in there with Emily and Sonia. I was like, oh no, I'm staying at the front of the store because I'll get lost if I take any more.
Are you gonna eat some? You got some more beard stuff over there.
No, I'm good.
Joe, you gotta get the Rick Ross aftershave, Joe.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Rick Ross aftershave gel.
Oh.
Wouldn't even be able to explain that to my wife.
You ain't gotta explain nothing, Daddy, if you got it on.
KSO to Rick Ross. KSO Rick Ross.
All you gotta do is put on a couple hits. Let her see the flow. Oh, that's good stuff.
You've never played a rap with my wife in the room, have you?
You gotta ease her into it. You can't just full blown shit.
Right.
Yeah, so we can at least for now celebrate in the idea that may be a possibility. Now, let's talk about history versus normalization, because here we're going to talk about normalizing. The fact that, sadly, Kofi Kingston's title reign is now history, and it's still not something that's common. They tried to get us before February. They tried to get us with this picture of the Hurt Business and Sasha,
Street Profits,
Big E, You know what I'm saying? They try to get us, but they've done this before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
Because this is what I can't get out of my head since Sunday. Does any of this happen if we had crowds? And that is not a judgment on WWE. That's a judgment on the crowd.
That's hard to say.
Because we had our opinions about the crowds pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And their influence on the current product.
That's hard to say. I feel like in certain markets, it's half and half.
Okay.
I think in those mid-mountain markets, if they were there, your Colorados, your Idahos,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? They may not care one way or another. But that's hard to say. There's so many things that if they tried, that if they were in front of crowds, they wouldn't have tried.
And I believe that.
And that's still kind of a half and half thing, because I think like in front of crowds, Velveteen Dream still gets a push,
Mm-hmm.
and they embarrassingly find out, you know, saying that's the wrong move. But then you'll say the same thing about Matt Riddle. So it's like it's still half and half, because I feel like different people would have got opportunities. I think we still see Bianca Belair, but I don't think we see her in the capacity that we see her.
Right. I think with a crowd, we still see Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
With a crowd, we do not see the Hurt Business.
No.
With a crowd, we still see Street Profits, but for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you see Big E in his current push. I don't think the New Day breaks up with a crowd. I think that could only happen without one. Because the crowd would reject a broken up New Day, just like they rejected DX breaking up. I think the crowd pushes certain stars, right or wrong, whatever that we may be. Riddle's a star if we have a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says. Riddle's holding a belt right now if we have a crowd.
I'd be hard pressed not to argue that. Because that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Edge winning the Royal Rumble would not be questionable. It would be the moment of the year. These are just differences that would happen with a crowd. I think the fact there hasn't been a crowd has amplified the talent that Black and Brown actually bring to the table, and not drowned out by crowds who have a different opinion because they want to see something other than that.
For better or for worse, we definitely don't get this version of Asuka.
For sure.
It's tired now, but at the beginning it was great.
Right. And I would say the same for the Fiend. In the beginning, it was great. Mm-hmm. And it kind of awayed. There's a lot of things that would have been different with a crowd. And I'm namely stating WWE because, to be frank, for the last 6 months, at least AEW's tried to have a crowd. And them being in Florida is very influential to me as it relates to that crowd.
They've had a crowd for the right moments.
For right moments, right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like, they haven't had a crowd that would cheer on Scorpio Sky. If you pan that audience.
Mm-hmm.
When Jade Cargill made her debut.
Crickets.
Right. And the cheer came from Brandy snapping off. More because she was out of character. Will Hobbs has gotten crickets since he's debuted. I am no longer I'm not no longer judging AEW, but I'm more judging their crowd.
Oh, we judged our crowd back in that November that we went.
What I'm saying as it relates to the progress of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, if you the last couple of shows, they've had good women's matches inside the ring with the crowd not participating in it. Now, yes, again, PR is a job. But if you want to see something, you need to support it.
Yeah.
That's why I understand AEW wrote checks and they haven't cashed them, but they haven't cashed them because all their analytics tell them not to. The people that come to their shows aren't cheering on Black, brown, and women. They're cheering on the same stars that they've seen for the last 20, 30 years. And people that look similar to them.
So what you're saying is that we'll never get a Kofi moment in AEW.
Not until they start touring around and make places like Chicago and Philly regular. As long as they play around in the South, they're going to be WCW. You are who you sell to.
Ain't that the fucking truth? There's a reason.
Now, if they were playing in Atlanta every other week, might be different. But they're playing in Jacksonville, Florida every week.
There's a reason why they go to Hoffman Estates and not actually Chicago for anything other than a pay-per-view.
I low-key think if COVID wasn't a thing, that would be over. We may get one like Dynamite out of there, but they're not doing any more pay-per-views out there.
Yeah, I think they
not unless they can package it with C2E2, because that seemed to be a huge success for them. So yeah. I don't see them necessarily saying no to Chicago just because of that. So once things kind of regulate and go back to normal, where they're touring across the country, I believe that one Revolution is a Chicago thing, accompanied with C2E2, because they both make hand over fist.
That's considered the best pay-per-view that they've done to date.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things there's a couple key things to keep in mind about why the Sears Center was a thing. A, the money involved, which they didn't they didn't have much available at the time.
I'm not referring to the Sears Center as a whole. I'm talking to the type of crowd that we saw.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? How fitting was it that we sat in an empty section looking at everybody, and we're having this conversation about inclusion, and we had the six of us?
Mm-hmm.
We had the six of us sitting in a section by ourselves looking at everyone else, and that's exactly what the conversation is with AEW. We are in the minority when it comes to this, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
No.
And just because you have a partnership with New Japan doesn't. Well, I mean, representation matters. So let's give kudos to if we ever see somebody like Kenta or somebody else from New Japan end up holding the AEW belt. That's representation matters, and we shouldn't just limit it to that. But same time, it was like when we're fighting for black and brown here,
right?
Ain't happening. It ain't happening. TNT title is not something to. It's not a token prize. Not anymore.
So let's move forward.
It's 2021 and we're still having this fucking conversation about first. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's 2020 fucking one, and we're still having. There are things they're talking about building a fucking colony on Mars, and we still can't fucking get hospitals on the west or the south side of Chicago. It's just fucking stupid at this point. It's just fucking stupid. Here comes Big E though, with that. Now we said a lot of shit with this new Intercontinental belt. But it looks pretty fucking badass on Big E.
I liked it. I always liked it since the beginning. I just also knew, what it meant to get rid of that other one.
Yeah.
And if I was blessed enough to be a collector, I would probably want both.
And that United States champion belt is fucking pretty badass though too.
It kind of grew on me.
You know what? It grew on me once it was on around Lashley's race. Don't know why.
Because it
just
looks
looks better. It looks badass on his waist.
I mean, without sounding a little sus, but he's got the waist to hold the belt that fucking huge. It's built for a powerhouse like that. Those U.S. titles,
right?
Like him, Strowman, and those guys. You know, those guys can. It's like imagine putting that belt around Chad Gable, and he's got that fucking belt. He's got it tied up on the last belt loop. Keep it on him.
No, they would give him the Velcro.
Here, Chad Gable, formerly known as Shorty G, sporting one of the many belts that you can buy here at the WWE shop.
Yeah, so all of this to say that, you know, that representation at the top of the card in WWE is always history. And it's still not normal. And I don't know what the call to action at this point. I mean, I can't even say how close we are to it. It's prominent in the women's division. And who's to say what opportunities Sasha would have to represent, you know, if we were in front of crowds, if COVID wasn't a thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Should just take our ball and go home and create our own damn wrestling federation.
Like I said, the hope still remains outside of the WWE, because I'm sorry, like, as much as people don't want to hear this, like, you have to make a commitment to change.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, well, you know, we're gonna shift and adjust, and we're just gonna let the best people, you know, be at the top. No, you really have to commit to it. Just like, you know, when we talk about AEW, like, commit to 2 women's matches per show. And, you know, give them enough rep to hang themselves if you don't think that they can stand up to it. Same thing's got to be for minority representation at the top of the card. Everybody gets into this business to be at the top. And specifically, you know, the more melanin you have in your skin, the harder you got to work in order to get people to take you seriously. That just goes across the board. If that's not facts by now, then, you know, I don't know what rock you've been living up under. There's no industry that's exempt from it. But whereas professional wrestling, for the most part, has been an innovator in many things in entertainment, they're still last when it comes to this. And, you know, like I said, I have to give credit to Impact, because they show me what that looks like, and it looks great. Regardless of the fact that Rich Swan's hair really like bothers me. Like, he won't get those locks retwisted. Just come on, just.
Yo, yeah, it takes a while, and quite honestly, it's uncomfortable to sit there with a mask for that long. So, I can see why. I mean, it's just a small sacrifice right now. Right now, you just sound really fucking nitpicky.
Yeah, I am.
Rich Swann is that dude, though.
Yeah, he is. And, you know, like I said, I appreciate what they're showing me. You know, Ring of Honor does that when they want to show their face. And that's why I kind of, you know, really hold their feet to the fire when it comes to how they represent themselves in the space. That this whole good enough approach is just, you got to get over it. You really have to make a better commitment to showing us what you got going on over there. They got something great going on over there right now with the foundation. But that's pretty much all I can tell you about it. But the fact of the matter is that now, more so than ever, we're in a space where we see somebody, you know, instead of color that's winning, people get behind them. Naomi got like a mini push out of nowhere because people just decided to start talking about her. And then celebrities started talking about her.
Yeah.
And all you needed to do, you didn't need to put a title on her. You didn't need to do anything too much out of plan, but you just had to do some Naomi shit. And then once again, she shows up at Royal Rumble after being off of TV for like 3 months.
Shout out to her, that spot with her and Bianca and that incredible fucking leg strength.
Yeah.
Jesus. It hurt my legs. It hurt my legs looking at that.
I mean, for us, she's like the new Kofi Kingston.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, Kofi wasn't the one year that Kofi's not in the Royal Rumble and Naomi comes out and does her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Almost in salute of Kofi Kingston and what he does during the Rumble.
My argument there is that, for better or for worse, like those shenanigans, those antics should cause you to win one. And if you don't want that to be the Royal Rumble, then I mean you got the other ones. I mean, she did win that other one though. The one that no one cares about that happens.
The one that she was supposed to get a title shot to and never fucking saw her again on TV that year.
Huh.
The Mae Young, not the Mae Young,
but the
Fabulous Moolah,
the fallopian 30 woman battle royal.
Yeah, the one from Big Mouth.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was really a weird one. Yeah, she was a title shot and disappeared off TV.
It's nice to see, and it's nice to see that WWE thinks about us enough during this month to reprise and create history. But as of right now, that's all they're doing. They're not creating legacy, and they're not normalizing this stuff until they want to go out of their way to prove me wrong.
Or at least give you the token gesture for the month of February.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna see all the black people getting the mid-card titles during this month, and you're gonna see them dropping them next month. Just that's the cycle. Unless they want to go out of their way to show me that they're committed to it. Yes, they've parked a very beautiful U.S. title belt on Bobby Lashley. We building this something for WrestleMania with him?
Absolutely not. Are you gonna put him in Riddle again?
Gonna lose it to Riddle. What you know?
Yo, that's a really cool fucking singlet. The New Day rocks. The Big E's rocking. It looks like the old school house rock.
Oh no, what they wore at the Rumble.
That was dope. They deserve a lot of praise for that. Wearing John Huber's face in a tribute on their uniforms. That was fucking. That shows you how close all three of them were. How cool the dude was. He was just a really good dude.
I will say this, and we have the right to judge AEW for all the lack of inclusion things they've done. That episode of Dynamite, which they completely changed in honor of John Huber, was something I've never seen in wrestling on live TV. That is stuff that is usually done in indie shows, not even house shows. That hit me.
I think
from beginning to end, like that was 2 hours of wrestling that me and my wife sat silent most of the time from an emotional standpoint. And is wrestling as it relates to losing stars too soon. I cannot think of a better way that someone was celebrated shortly after their death.
Here.
I legit can't think of one. And we're talking about WWE where people died in the ring. And other organizations where they've had similar tragedies around their show.
People in my personal life that are clearly not wrestling fans, I was able to show them clips from that show, and it drew an emotional response out of them, or at the very least wanted to know who this guy was. That show was very well done, and to our audience, who I think is half in, half out, that was a very good 2 hour, a very good 2 hours of wrestling. if there's any way for you to see it, I think most of it's probably on YouTube. If you want to cry, like, I mean, because that's basically what the end result is going to be. But just, once again, to the testament of wrestling nerds that have put a company together to celebrate professional wrestling. That can only come from the hearts of them. You know what I mean? And it was just very impressive. And just because we're here, just another side note, just to mention, Mad King. Just 1 year ago, he might have been quitting this company. I mean, quitting the industry. And now, just 1 year later, he's a prominent figure on television and a locker room leader. Shout out to this guy. And there's a lot more Griselda friends out there because of him too. So shout out to him and Griselda.
Zelda Records.
And those Buffalo kids.
I've never seen, like, in the hip hop, outside of Wale maybe, like, they just go hard for wrestling.
And it's not going to stop.
and the Buffalo Bills, but no, that's a separate story for them. We all in Chicago know about heartbreak.
Yeah, we feel your pain.
We feel your pain, but we feel your pain, but we share our enthusiasm for wrestling.
They Joe Budden interviewed Conway the Machine. What was it, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
And he made mention of the same thing. Like, what would you guys have done if the Buffalo Bills had made it? Like, you know what I'm saying? How, like, in the same token that, you know what I'm saying, when, the Giants made it, we got what was it?
It was Khalifa and Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And then we had Jim Jones with the Ballin.
With Ballin, yeah.
Ballin.
What we would got it from Griselda if the Buffalo made it, at least to the Super Bowl. Oh, gotta bleep that out. I'm sorry. The big game. I ain't gonna edit that out. What time?
No, fuck that. No edits on this podcast.
Nah, well,
unfiltered.
They'll kill us. They'll send murderers to us.
That's okay. Can I just say one quick thing about I look and feel like Sami Zayn right now? I told that to Claire during the Royal Rumble. Jesus, I'm stroking my fucking hair because my hair is super long right now again. Jesus Christ, man. What the hell's Sammy's really going through something, right? All right, Sammy, I feel you. She goes, you would identify as Sammy? Yeah, I'd probably have a same T-shirt saying I'm just here so I could get a fucking check. I don't have to be the Intercontinental Champion. And shout out to this very tasty peanut butter whiskey I've been drinking on.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey with ocean spray, cranberry, and blackberry juice to give you that PB&J feel. I call it the smuck.
Get the star bartender at home. This is what you've been doing in pandemic.
Well, all glory to God. My son's mom received a kidney transplant. So the backup doesn't have to be backed up anymore. Time to take this motherfucker out for a test ride again. So, yep. No, so that's it. We've been testing out. We tested out this brewery, Left Hand Brewery, out all the way out there, Tinley, and stuff like that. It wasn't good at all. I didn't like anything. It tasted so bad. Open 3 beers and it's just like, you know how you, as a kid, you tasted something and you spit it right back out.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, man, 2 of the best breweries in the area are right by here.
I don't drink beer like that. I
don't either, but I respect the opinion of 3 guys who when I volunteer, I watch drink often. Well, we've talked about the past. We've talked about the present. What is the future for us? New year, new things, right?
I guess. New things for us, but not some. I mean, it's like Rod said, it's more of the same. And at some point, we're gonna have to ask ourselves: is this the fight that we really want, or do we continue to push everywhere else? That's a heavy sigh.
Well,
I
I mean,
I don't know.
it's
I didn't mean to get that on camera. Like,
it's a lot of stuff that we're not going to unpack here.
Yeah.
Because it's still a lot more to talk about and discuss. But one thing is for sure is that we do want to kind of broaden our niche, so to speak. Just because we have other things that we do want to talk about and discuss with you guys. So the branding is going to change just a bit. Or it's going to, well, that's other things that we need to discuss as well. But there's definitely going to be a pivot in the content that we're putting out. We have a game plan new format that's going to essentially end up being more content for you guys. If you do enjoy hearing us talk about things,
just things.
Yeah, just things. There's definitely more things we want to talk about. And probably have to talk about being responsible grown men.
we want. What we're saying is we're opening our invitation to catch the smoke wherever you want it. Wrestling, sports, politics. You can get it. You can catch these hands.
And just for a tease, I'm coming for baseball.
Don't start with me.
I'm coming for baseball. Rod's just gonna have to. Rod might want to just sit back and laugh while me and Ray just go in.
The only thing I have for baseball right now is that the Griffey retros that he wore as the budding superstar idol that I had are coming out on February 15th. It'll be my Valentine's Day gift to myself. Because who loves me more than me? My wife.
I ain't gonna lie. For those that don't know, I am the opposite of a sneakerhead.
Oh, yeah.
But I want those.
Good luck.
I'll get that before a PlayStation 5.
Oh, no. So, I just recently got the vaccine. I signed up on Walgreens. And when I started telling people, like, some people got pissed off. Like, how the hell did you? Well, bitch, first of all, I'm an essential worker. I had to start it off like that, bitch. And 2, I was like, I'm just as lucky with this shit as I am with Jordans. It's first come, first serve. So if you don't fucking know, don't blame me because you're not educated on the subject. I mean, they've been giving them out left and right. So one of the coworkers, she had COVID. She got real sick. She walked to Mariano's to get herself a little Cobb salad and ended up walking out with a shot an hour later. It's just opportunity to get out there. There's avenues to get it.
Opportunity only dances with people on the dance floor.
Closed mouths don't get fed. And me slamming the door on that. But yeah, I am going to get those. And those University 4s in April.
Those Jordan, what are those? Jordan 5s? The golf shoes?
Those are for
There's some 3s.
The 3s. That's what we were looking at.
No. Those aren't 3s.
What were those?
Those were the 4s.
Those were the 4s.
Okay.
Those are the 4s.
I have those bookmarked on every device I have.
I want the 11s as the golf shoe.
I just want Jordan golf.
Those would be
so I can piss off everybody at a golf course when I go into Galena.
So
and they try to stop me. for not having golf shoes on.
So I got a buddy. He's a real good friend of ours. Met him through his wife when we opened Lowe's together, and he's a big sneakerhead. So we already got a trip plan going to Paris to buy these Jordans that are rare out there and shit like that. So it's on once this pandemic's over. He even slapped himself. This is the whitest comment I've ever made in my life. It's like, I just want to get a pair of those so I can go and flaunt them in everybody's face at the country club that I will be a part of sooner or later. It's like, ew. I was like, well, at least you're wearing Jordans, not those champion shit or whatever you get. What do golf people wear?
What do they wear?
Yeah. What kind of shoes do they wear?
Get you some Callaway, some Callaways. Nike actually has a good bunch of them. Thanks to Tiger Woods. Titleist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he says, my goal in life is to only own Jordan golf shoes. These specifically.
Right.
Until I'm a member of a country club. And then he put a caption, I'll take whitest comments ever for 800, Alex. Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason why I would play golf. I could rock some Jordans. I can't hit the ball. I mean, I can hit the ball, but I got no direction. Y'all seen me at Topgolf. It's hitting for power. As long as it goes out, I don't care where it goes. But no, we're excited about the direction that we're going to be taking this podcast because it's not going to be just a podcast. We're taking it to the next level, hopefully. Not hopefully, we will. But we're excited to see to share the new content, new format. We're excited about the logo. We just kind of approved it today, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, and in a era and a podcast and a culture that we say representation matters, this one is befitting the three of us. So pretty excited about that, and yeah, we'll be all over. Can't wait to talk shit. What do you want to now? You got me fucking wondering. What do you want to talk shit about baseball for? Like, what did baseball do to you? Is Trevor Bauer's?
I would just say 3 words: for the culture.
Oh,
for the culture.
Well. Did you see what the move they just did? To try to
don't care.
Bridge that gap.
Don't care.
We'll see. I heard the announcement about Griffey Jr. joining the office to read, kind of this outreach. I'm like, all right, we'll see.
How many black owners are in baseball?
How many black owners are there in any major sports right now outside of the Charlotte Hornets?
Shit, that's more than 0.
Well,
how many black general managers are there in baseball?
Yeah, again, it's a thing.
No.
No, I'm not defending it because, for God's sakes, we're just.
How many black umpires are there in baseball? Do you want me to keep going?
We can have this extended.
Prominent black pitcher in baseball.
A prominent black pitcher in baseball?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Name your top 5 top baseball players. Let me know when you get to a black guy. Do you have time for this?
I mean, I got time. But here, we've always known baseball was like that.
Nah, not in the 90s, man.
In the 90s, it was
the 90s. Nope.
But here, this is why. Jordan took off in the 90s.
Oh,
Nobody wants to fucking play baseball.
Don't do that. It goes deeper than that.
Nobody wants to play baseball.
Let me stop you right there, because there are whole organizations that base their existence off of Jackie Robinson.
And look at what they did to Jackie Robinson after they won the Little League World, when they made it to the Little League World Series. They had one guy sit there complain that they redirected the entire map and they were wiped from existence. And when was the last time we talked about the inner city when it comes to the Jackie Robinson team? Except the fact that the Cubs drafted the shortstop, Ed Howard, and he is now one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball.
Right. I mean,
you don't do shit. Baseball has never done shit since the 90s, since Barry Bonds ran all over the place, since Ken Griffey Jr.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the
Which
point.
is why I say, okay, cool. You got Ken Griffey Jr., who was that dude in the 90s, to try to bring that back to the communities, try to make baseball more appealing. Because right now, NBA highlights dominate everything. Let's just be absolutely real.
And it's not just that. All right.
There's more into
Hold
it.
on. Right.
There's more into it.
Because and Rod knows this as well, because we grew up around the same parks. And I'm sure you know this as well.
Yeah.
When we were kids in the early 90s, you could go to any park and just play ball.
Absolutely.
Can you do that today?
No,
because they're all fenced up.
They're fenced up. The park district pimps out their things because now because of the dwindling numbers, people have taken it upon themselves to take their kids out to the suburbs instead of doing it in the cities.
How much was your first glove?
Mine? I bought it myself. Shit.
$20, 30,
Probably 20, 30 at Sport Mart.
How much is a baseball glove now?
Oh, and that's another.
Let's go though.
We could talk about the equity
Right.
because I mean, it's a bigger conversation. But
Correct.
When you want, I mean, just like at this, damn, we're getting into this fucking conversation now.
That's why I said, yo, we saving this. We cutting this off right now.
That's gonna be the 1 hour show when we come back to this. Because we do need to have a serious conversation about that because it's let's just be fucking real.
I'm just saying, like,
You had fucking owners
of
like Marge Schott that didn't want to see black.
Let me hit you with one stat. In 1996, 29% of all baseball players were black. That is less than 10% now.
Yeah, it's
and it's not just done because black people just decided they didn't want to play baseball no more.
No, it's a much deeper in the conversation. And we said it. It's the equity in it. It's pricing people out so you can discourage them to go doing that and stuff like that. I mean, it's just multiple combinations of.
I just said this about not just leveling the playing field and saying we're not going to do this. No, you literally have to make a commitment.
Correct.
And
no, absolutely. And it's not just cute just putting fucking Cubs Field on one of the inner city parks or throwing a little mini stadium when you had dudes like Carlos Zambrano, not the fucking Cubs. Zambrano put $1 million of his own cash to pay for that park that's in Humboldt Park right now. It's like you don't have these organizations doing it on their own, yet alone the actual fucking business that is MLB. We know that. They just put it on there, and then what? The park withers away, and then it's just. We know how it is in Chicago. But yeah, we can go in on this conversation because I'm not defending baseball at all.
You got some stats on what baseball pulls in by revenue versus the NBA.
Baseball doesn't know how to fucking market their players.
But I'm saying baseball revenue pisses on NBA revenue, man.
Mm.
But okay, yeah, absolutely. Because what's crazy about it is like they pay better than the fucking NBA too. It's all fucking guaranteed contracts. NFL, Deshaun Watson can sign a $200 million extension today, and then June 1st they'll cut him because he's a cap casualty. And none of that's guaranteed. A lot of that is changed too. It's just so much shit. We can go into this. This would be great. That'd be a great conversation, though. Absolutely great conversation. Because it's like, okay, I can speak for it. Because when I see Javier Baez and Fernando Tatis, it's different because it's like we had unathletic dudes like Mike Schmidt. It's like
I'm saying, man.
It's like it's so much in this shit. But you're absolutely right. It's like, how am I as an aspiring baseball player at the age of 10?
Who are you looking up to right now?
In baseball?
I'm saying, if you're a 10-year-old right now, who are you looking up to in baseball?
That's the thing too. if quite honestly, if I'm gonna say anybody like a prominent black athlete in baseball, right?
I'm saying anybody. I would say.
No, I'm saying. Well,
who's
no,
Matthews looking up to right now?
Matthew's always gonna look up to one of the Cubs, like Baez.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
When Matthew was younger, he was a big Addison Russell fan. But then we had the hard conversation that Addison Russell was a piece of shit, and we got rid of his jersey because that's the responsible parent that I played as. Like, nah, we're not gonna. We root for the guy, we root for the team, but when that guy turns out to be everything that we don't stand for, now that's where we draw the hard line, regardless of race or whatever the case may be. But nah, I mean, like Tim Anderson's a fucking dope ass dude right now, but he's like you said, he is in the minority. It's like, who was the last superstar that you could say with baseball? McCutchen? No, not in Pittsburgh. McCutchen was cool with us because we knew McCutchen. McCutchen was that dude. Ryan Howard for a cup of tea.
Man, he's like
Jimmy Rollins.
He's like the Ryan Howard's like the Donovan McNabb of baseball. Like you really wanted him to be something amazing, and he just never did it.
He did it for a couple good seasons, and that was about it.
Right.
Mookie
Betts.
Mookie Betts is that dude.
Mookie Betts is that dude.
I quite honestly, I'd say I'd put his talent as
Mookie Betts is probably the best player in baseball.
No, I wouldn't say probably. I say he is, hands down.
Right.
And he doesn't get...
But he's not even getting the respect he deserves.
No, absolutely not. Look at where he was playing at.
Well, he's playing in LA now?
Well, yeah, but he was playing in Boston.
Here's the thing. Real talk. Mookie Betts is walking down one side of the street. Mike Trout's on the other side of the street. Where's the crowd going?
Going straight to fucking Mike Trout because he looks like a fucking superhero.
Not even that. His face is every fucking where.
That's another. That's what I mean. I was cut off
in a sport that doesn't cover your fucking face. Nobody knows who these people are.
Baseball does nothing to market their players at all. The only time you see these players is when spring training's right, the opening season's around the corner. You'll see one commercial on a loop on every time they play it on ESPN, every time they play it on Fox, every time they play it on the Marquee Network or wherever you get your sports, and then you'll get one for the chase of the playoffs. They do absolutely nothing to market their players. Like you said, they're making hand over fist. Why are they going to spend the extra money? The only time you ever see black and brown is like when Tatis flipped the bat.
And everybody gave him shit for that too.
Everybody gave him shit for that. Except for the old timers that said, nah, that's cool. Keep doing your thing. Tim Anderson is one of the biggest offenders of it, and I love it. Because it speaks to a newer game.
This topic came to me during the World Series when the announcers let it slip something about Mookie Betts that I don't think was taken as a joke or presented as such, but should have definitely got more attention than it got. Mookie Betts was the lone black player in the World Series, period.
Yeah. It's also the richest.
True.
That's fucking dope. And well deserved.
Right.
But I mean let's talk about the scouting real quick, and then we'll focus on this. Where do you pay your scouts to go scout?
Oh, now we're getting into deeper kind of
Venezuela, the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
you go where you can sign a 16-year-old kid to a $25,000 contract.
Yep.
And make his entire family's life.
Another thing that they don't have in the hood, or should I say in areas where black and in America or black and brown play? Camps.
No, they don't. I mean,
There are no camps.
There are
At
no,
least, we'll speak from people from Chicago. There are no
Chicago,
camps in our area.
We were talking to a couple of the coaches, because you guys know that I coached last summer. Well, 2 summers ago now. Shit, Jesus Christ. Let's be real. If they think that their kids are really interested in it, they're gonna take them to the suburbs.
Right.
The suburbs don't have this
Exactly.
bullshit district map bullshit that Jackie Robinson, dude. If that Jackie Robinson thing had went off without a hitch, like they did with this bullshit map fiasco, there would have been a spike in baseball.
Oh yeah,
here, absolutely. But like you said, I mean, they fucking shot it down real quick, and then what happened? We didn't speak about them again.
and it's very similar. Like there's something happening in my area that's very similar. There's an election that's going to be held in a month or two for village trustee here in Oak Park.
You running?
Am I running? I didn't even know I could. But anyway, there are 4 black people who put their names on the ballots. There was 2 white people who put objections to every single one and took these people to hearings in court to get them removed off ballots.
Oak Park is low key like.
Oh, it's a wild trip out here.
Did you know that getting into it?
Yeah, but at the same time, like I told my wife, if other people, I'll use that term, can benefit from living out here, we should too.
Absolutely.
And by no means, just because certain people don't want us here, should we move away from here.
Fuck that.
We should stand in our place. And just like those 4 people are doing, as it relates to standing on the ballot, we have a right to be here too and be represented.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to do as a people in general, is stop running from these situations where we're not wanted. And that's in a nutshell.
Right, because y'all all can't come to Canada with me.
We already got an underground tunnel with Emily, man, so we good. And we ready to pay those high ass taxes too, so it's all good.
They pay high taxes out there.
Yeah, but they use
you're gonna have to get over the fact that Canada's national song is Hotline Bling.
You know what? I'm a better person in 2021.
You ain't shit.
I will listen to Drake. Look, I have not said Drake in like 2 years. This shit's been like Voldemort to me. So I'm a better person just by saying his name.
Okay. You will refer to him as Aubrey Graham then. What's going on?
Don't take it that far, Jimmy.
Let me roll out of this conversation then. Huh?
But this is the kind of fun we want to have more on this podcast, just jumping into other subjects that
like we usually do, but now we're going to format it. We're going to format when we see distractions like squirrel. Yeah. Extra content. Why give it away for free?
Yeah, instead of that being that other podcast.
No, we're going to give you that other podcast now.
The other podcast is coming. I almost feel like that should be the name of it.
Stop giving them nuggets, because they're going to start taking shit away from us. Mm-hmm. We can't give it away so freely, just like Sean gave away his 3-year pursuit in breaking up the New Day.
Did you really do a drum set? Wow.
Because that shit was laughable, especially with your reply tweet that that Rod actually
take full credit. I take full credit.
He totally tagged me. He's like, "You see this shit?"
I take full credit.
The fucking nerve. Oh, so which one of us?
Time WWE, give me what I want.
Yeah. And here we are in 2021, still asking for something that we want. So which one of us is running for mayor of Chicago? Since this,
not a chance. That's a trap.
Yo,
that's a trap.
This mayor position,
I'll be alderman before I be mayor of Chicago.
I don't know. I want to even do that.
It's a trap.
I honestly think that this mayor shit has always been a puppet shit, even during the Daly years.
Absolutely.
I think
It's just
Lori
for
was set
fucking
up,
show.
dog.
It's just for show.
I think Lori was set up.
Yeah,
Super set up, dog.
well,
Rom knew half of this shit was coming. He didn't know COVID was coming. Let's just be let's don't go there. But I'm talking about with the teacher strike that happened before, the shit that came out in regards to all that. You know what I'm saying? Ed Burke, all this.
Okay, Ed Burke. You know the only reason why you got that second entrance at UIC is because that's a couple blocks away from the crib from his house. So you're right. We should be a fucking alderman.
Saying.
We can make the podcast the official podcast for the city of Chicago.
My goal in life at this point is to get up enough cred in the church to replace the guy in front of Old Navy.
Yo, you're not replacing the preacher. Yeah. Well, maybe you can. You're more approachable than he is. I'm not gonna have somebody.
I'm getting.
I'm not having somebody scream at me that I'm a sinner just because I enjoyed my Old Navy cash.
Oh man, no.
This is a real treat for the fans, for the loyal ones that really want to watch all these other podcasts. Oh,
we had to give them everything that we ever given them.
Oh, you're gonna get everything. No more broken promises about that other podcast. You will get it.
Patreon, here we come, bitch.
Hey, yo, salute to Joe Budden, the head of creative equity, which is huge title. It was listening.
Made up title.
How
many? Come on now. How many companies have come up with like director of creative branding?
Random. Well, I mean, Kanye West was famous for talking about Lady Gaga becoming the creative director at Polaroid. I like pictures too. She doesn't know anything about shoes.
He actually said that in his explanation. It was just like,
yeah,
I didn't know we can make up like corporate names. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, it's still a company that gave him a position and let him make it up. You know what I mean? It's still significant because he's been talking about how the system's been broken for artists and creators this whole time. And
Patreon's a big. I mean, they're being valued at over $1 billion.
Yeah,
this is how a lot of artists are surviving right now, paying their rent. Putting their efforts on this it's not an expensive monthly package, and for the content that they're giving, it's a smart move, as long as everybody gets paid like he wants everybody to gets paid, because as loud as he is, same way that we hold AEW accountable for all the checks they've written, people are going to push him. Now that you're the head of creator equity, what equity have you created? They're going to ask for examples of that shit, But hey, salute to them because they did it their way. They ain't just sign a bad deal and
right.
Get stuck. Like so many of our heroes, so many of our favorite bands coming up. De La Soul is still a victim of it. So.
Yeah, can't wait to talk about music stuff.
Man, I got some shit for you guys.
I can't wait, man.
Well, I've been fucking around with music again. I've been messing around. My SoundCloud.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have his TikTok.
Oh no, you don't have my TikTok. Go check out my SoundCloud page.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. I have to. For 2021 and for everything that we're trying to do to move forward, I guess I have to get on TikTok and like.
Well, I've already started writing down times of funny shit that Sean said, because that's going to be like a trend on TikTok with the Wisemen Wrestling Podcast. Shit that Sean said. When I was like, like the excuse, if you needed a LGBTQ representation, you had Bert and Ernie there. Yeah, that's going to make the socials. Maybe you want to recant that statement about taking over for the preacher in the corner at Washington and State.
Hey man, I didn't say it was perfect.
No, nobody's perfect.
Right.
We'll give him the lights out. That's gonna be
lights out.
Yo, it would be crazy if you actually, to replace him, you run up on him. Hey, let me talk for you for a second. Give him the RKO.
Nah, man.
RKO
Somebody already
out
did.
of nowhere?
No. I'm not even making that funny because somebody ran up on him a couple years ago, and I'm not.
Oh yeah. I remember.
I'm
that.
not making that funny. No.
What if we gave him a little bit of money, a little donation in church? You should take the day off. Go enjoy the Old Navy sale. We got 3 for $5 right now. T-shirts. It's gonna get hot in the winter or in the summer. This is great. It's good to record again. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Can you feel your arm yet?
Hell no, this shit fucking hurts though. So we were cracking up. So Eliberto got the shot today too, but he got it at Wright College because the city set it up, and they, he was going back and forth on it, and as I was as well, because I mean, you can't help feel guilty. It's like, yo, I can't take my wife with me. I can't take my family members with me to get the shot. It's like, I don't want to be that person by myself. What if everybody? I don't want to be Will Smith and I Am Legend. So,
which took place in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, there's still time, right? It's only February.
Based off of a vaccination that went wrong.
Yeah, straight up. It's fucking shit. So we were cracking out. He's like, he was trying to distract her because there's this huge muscular black dude and was, attractive person. He's trying to get the attractive person to shoot him. Nope. Get the guy. Boom! Right in his arm. Messed them all up. I was like, well, I almost got stabbed in the eye by my pharmacist because she had this huge wedding ring that just put the one that I got my wife to shame. I was like, Jesus. But that almost scratched me like a couple times because you see how high she got up there. It's like, that's close to my eye.
Gotta go into the upper deltoid. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, there were some nerves to it, but they sat me down for 15 minutes. I got up. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, it kind of sent me on a little trip. I got the Moderna one.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. So I ended up walking to Arby's right there because I got it at the Madison and Wells location downtown.
Okay.
And I walked over to Arby's, got me a sandwich and some fries, sat my car onto the.
I never see them.
Huh?
I never see Arby's, so.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I had to take advantage. I called Claire. I was like, guess where I'm at? Trying to get some meat. I flipped it, showed her that we got the meats. I got promptly hung up on because she didn't have the meats. So I was like, whatever. Okay. It would get cold by the time you get there. Nobody needs cold Arby's.
This year, too. I see.
Huh? What was that?
So we're going to get more problematic this year, I see.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to test this marriage. We're going to test the boundaries.
I'm glad I'm getting a new couch, man.
Oh, man. What are you going to do with the chaise lounge? That should have been our logo.
Oh, man. No, it's got to go, man. It's got to go. We done had a couple of instances already where neither one of us can get out of bed in the morning because of the back pain that damn thing is called. So,
well, you guys got that giant California King times 2 in your room. Just watch TV in there. Fuck a couch.
We do most of the time now. In fact, I'm getting texts every 10 minutes like, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been trying to. So my silly ass thought, I was like, oh well, this is, I was like, okay, we got to get out of this.
And Sean brings up baseball and fucks it all up.
Yeah, you fucked up. You did this to yourself. We talked about this in the pre-meeting 2 weeks ago, Sean, how we just talk about one thing and we go this way. And I'm sitting here sending you guys message, yo, we're at the 1:30 mark because I thought we were doing this format thing. I was like, well, it's the anniversary episode, so maybe this is just me keeping them appraised that we got a running clock. I'm like, oh, here we are 3 hours later. Welcome back 2 years. Yay.
All right, people. We out here.
Let's close it out, and then we'll have everything in store.
Does Rod remember how to do this?
Oh, he knows this by heart.
Why do you have to slap his face and wash his face real quick?
I was expecting some mood lighting to come on right now. Oh, whoa.
Allegedly.
I guess I got a license. That's all I got for you.
Allegedly.
You sheathe that lifesaver, sir.
Yeah, so new for the 2021. Things are going to change, but some things are just going to stay the same. Just like this podcast, whatever we call ourselves and whatever we do, anything that the Wisemen do is going to be for the culture. Just remember that, because that's always what we're going to put first. As always, you vote with your dollars. Yeah, I am forgetting this. Your attention is currency, and you vote with your dollars. Even if you are a mark, make sure you leave a positive mark on his life.
He did it.
Stay
that's it. No naps before recording.
Stay off the weed. That's what I here we go.
Come on, man.
There you go. That's what I did. And that'll be it for the Wiseman Wrestling Podcast this evening. Make sure you follow us on our socials, Wiseman Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, because they're basically the same fucking company. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at We Are the Wisemen, and make sure you follow us on everywhere you get your podcasting info. By the way, thanks for the recommendation for My Dad Wrote a Porno. Fucking hilarious.
Yes.
We're already through season 1.
And shouts to those guys, because they were able to take that podcast from just the same way we conceived ours, and they were prepping for like their second world tour.
That thing is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Sean, if you haven't heard it, this will make you laugh as the profound writer that you are, with the lack of adjectives.
What are we doing?
Oh, it's just floppy tits and shit like that. That's on.
Wow.
How they just fell out of a shirt.
Out of a shirt?
Yeah. You go listen to a couple episodes. We'll circle back on that. That's pretty.
The podcast is literally called My Dad Wrote a Porno.
60-year-old guy from the UK just decided to write erotic literature. And the reaction, what? Why?
But why?
It's definitely worth a listen to. But thank you for supporting us. We look forward to sharing everything with you guys for this year and beyond. And we'll see you guys soon. Oh, you turned off your green screen.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a house.
I don't live in the black hole. Now people stop walking behind me now, so that's cool.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, cool. There goes the Jesus piece in the background. I'm just kidding.